As it is commonly said, no man is an island. Hence, we need partnership in everything we do in life, because without partnership, we cannot grow in anything we find ourselves doing. And this is why in this segment of SDGs, we're talking about SDG 17, talking about partnership for the goals. And on this edition with me is Toluluope. She works in the Public-Private Partnership Unit of NIMASA. Toluluope, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so this segment of SDGs, we're talking about SDG 17.
Okay.
Talking about partnerships for the goals, right? So now, can you tell us, you are in the Public-Private Partnership Unit of NIMASA, right?
Yes, I am.
Now, how has NIMASA been able to partner with other relevant organizations to achieve its aim as an agency?
Okay, thank you very much for having me once again. Like you rightly said, SDG 17 dwells on partnership for the goals. It's often referred to as the glue to other goals, because no man is an island, you know, and then you do more when you collaborate with others. NIMASA, being a strategic organization and the apex maritime body in Nigeria, has positioned itself with other agencies in terms of, you know, maritime domain awareness, creating maritime domain awareness. We've also partnered with other agencies in terms of knowledge transfer and technical awareness. For example, the IMO, the ILO, they defend us, they guide us as well, since they're the apex body globally.
Okay.
So in terms of knowledge transfer sessions, we go there and then they help us, you know, to become more aware on what's happening in the industry. Also, for infrastructural development, we can't do it on our own. And to reduce the burden on government, NIMASA partners with the private sector, you know, so that we can achieve more maritime infrastructure in Nigeria. For example, I'll use an example with the offshore waste reception facility, which NIMASA has done. We've partnered with 2 companies in the private sector who have these facilities using the design, build, operate, and transfer.
Okay.
So basically, for infrastructural development, you know, for institutional strengthening as well. NIMASA is not an island. Yes, we're the apex body, but you have the MPA, you have Shippers Council, you have several other organizations. So what we do is that we partner with them, you know, to avoid overlapping of functions, you know, and see how we can integrate to push the agency forward. So basically, that's how we've been able to leverage on partnerships between ourselves and other players in the maritime sector.
Thank you. Now, so talking about partnership for the goals, as it sounds, partnership for the goals, that means there's an end to it, right? You want to achieve something. So now, can you tell us in clear terms, you know, with all these partnerships NIMASA has, you know, done with other organizations, now, what are the results?
What are the results? For example, we've increased our maritime domain awareness. Giving an example, you see the IMO collaborated with us on the Deep Blue project.
Okay.
You know, every year or every month, every other month, NIMASA has representation by representing Nigeria at the IMO. And so they enjoyed, or they believed in this initiative at the Deep Blue project. And with that, you know, backing us up, you see that the maritime domain awareness here in Nigeria, there's an improved version of it. You know, everybody's becoming aware, oh yes, you know, piracy has reduced, illegal fishing and all of that. That's part of it. Also, maritime security collaboration. One of the partnerships we've done is also within the Gulf of Guinea. You know, the collaboration forum, that is Nigeria and other countries along the Gulf of Guinea. Okay. With that, other countries are, you know, there's a general forum where these countries come together to discuss all their challenges, what they've experienced, what they know, how best to treat all these incidences. And with that platform, we're able to press on and move the African maritime space forward. So those are part of the
you know, the results,
the end result.
Okay.
Yeah. Also for infrastructural development, we will keep dwelling on infrastructure, because the maritime infrastructure is a growing one here in Nigeria. It's recently that you're hearing more about the blue economy, the blue economy, the blue economy. Yes. For example, the Lekki Deep Sea Port, which has been approved all the way since 2014. I mean, with all the collaborations, not just with federal government, but Lagos state government, Singaporean group called Tolaram, and Czech, the China Harbour Engineering Company. Yeah. You know, with that, you saw the state-of-the-art port facility we have, and then we're able to welcome bigger vessels because the draft of the port has increased. So all of that, we're not able to do it on our own, but with partnership with private sectors, with academia and all of that, this leads to a bigger maritime effort in general for Nigeria.
All right, very good. Now, talking about, you know, globally there's a trend now, it's called public-private partnership, whereby you have to now the public and the private sector partners together to, you know, to achieve, you know, a particular aim, right? Yeah. Now, can you talk about PPP, the importance of PPP in governance, specifically in maritime?
Now, so there's a lot that PPP can do for us as a people, you know, not just, I mean, Nigeria, we would categorize ourselves as a developing nation. So basically, you know, part of what PPP has helped us do is to mobilize capacity. You know, the government is overburdened, and that's why everywhere PPP is becoming a global practice. Yeah. So in order to reduce the burden on government partners with the private sectors. You know, most times we have the assets or we have finance, but maybe what the government has so many projects that are important at the same time. Yeah. So in order to accommodate all of this, government partners with the private sector, you know, government partners with the private sector to achieve all this. You know, that's one way PPP helps us, you know, to increase infrastructure.
So thank you. So aside international partnerships and all that that NIMASA has with the IMO, the ILO and all that, who are NIMASA's local partners?
Our local partners, depending on the category we're looking at. For example, in terms of security, we partner with Nigerian Navy, you know, just to secure our waterways. In terms of trade facilitation and, you know, curbing banned goods and stuff, we partner with customs. You know, we partner with customs, we partner with marine police. You know, we also partner with our sister agencies, MPA, Shippers Council,
Nigerian Immigration Service, NDLEA, and all that.
And all that. So, but the beauty about it is that it's not like each of all these organizations are fighting for relevance. But what we're supposed to do is collaborate. You know, the strength for us might be the weakness for another agency. So if we come together, we know that the one major goal we have is to drive the maritime sector forward. You know, talking about innovation, talking about technology. How do we drive technology? Most times, we are the administrative aspect of the economy, and then the private sector would bring in brilliant ideas on innovation, on how to infuse technology in terms of coastal hubs, you know, in terms of maritime domain awareness and all of that. So if they bring in the expertise, we would, you know, govern how these expertise are being implemented. And also the PPP frameworks. When we have PPP frameworks, it helps with risk allocation and revenue optimization. With that, you know that you can allocate risks properly. Aside allocating risks properly, this risk allocation have a way of inviting and attracting investments into the maritime sector. You know, for example, if you're a private sector individual and I'm government, and then I'm saying, oh, this part of the sector, these sectors of the economy, you can invest in it. You want to know, okay, if I'm putting in X, Y, Z, what are my returns on investment? So if you have a roundtable conversation with government, then we're able to, you know, properly allocate risk and optimize revenue. So every party goes smiling.
Wow, very interesting. This is quite educating, right? So, Tolu, I'll ask you this final question. SDGs were meant to last for the 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Or the 10th year of the SDG. I've asked everyone on this program this particular question. In the next 5 years, this set of SDGs is supposed to have expired, right? What should happen next after these SDGs? What do you think should happen?
Where, like we said, life is a learning curve, if you ask me, you know. Where you stop, another person starts, and then life is evolving. Yes, you're correct that after this SDGs, what's next? Right now, some of the things we're experiencing now, we never envisaged some of them. Some we knew, so we were able to prepare. Others we were not aware. Towards the tail end, we'll get to see different challenges. And so what we should do is, how do we evolve from where we are to the next phase, considering what is happening now? And that's why it's always good to project. If we're here today, how do we project forward to say, oh, how do we remain sustainable? What are the practices which are applying now that may not apply in the next 5 to 10 years, so that those coming behind us would meet a sustainable future? So I think what we should, in as much as we're reflecting on what has happened in the past, we should also retrospectively look ahead and see how we can tailor what we're doing now into having a sustainable future.
All right, thank you so very much, Tolu. It's nice having you on this segment. To our viewers out there, you've heard it all. Partnership for the goals. We all require some level of partnership and collaboration for us to achieve our aims. And of course, in the maritime sector, we have been partnering with various organizations, the IMO, the ILO, we have the Nigerian Port Authority, the Shippers Council, Nigerian Customs, all for us, of course, to work together as one to achieve our mandate and, of course, to create a robust maritime industry. I'd like to tell you again, our partners in Africa, that we in Nigeria, we are contesting for the category C in the IMO elections. Please support Nigeria to get this. Thank you very much. See you again next segment. I remain your host. My name is Femi Kumuyi.